Today I'm going to share what to do when you ran out of options for getting pregnant. Hi, it's Eva here with Natural Fertility Prescription. I help people optimize their fertility naturally and prepare for a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby. Okay, so what to do when you feel like you ran out of options? So you've tried everything. You maybe tried IVF, maybe even a couple of times. Perhaps you were taking supplements or still do. You've tried acupuncture. Maybe you've been to a few different specialists and nothing has worked so far, and you really feel like you've explored everything and nothing has worked. So, what do you do? What do you do at this point? So, I would like to make you aware of the holistic approach to fertility, which looks at areas that are often overlooked by conventional fertility treatments. So things like toxicity levels, nutrient deficiencies, genetic polymorphisms, and also the emotional and spiritual aspects of fertility. All of these need to be taken into the account. And if you haven't explored some of these areas before, then it may be time to start looking into these other areas, which are new uncharted territory for you. We live in a very toxic world, and that means that you may be coming into contact with lots of toxins without actually being aware of it. Or, you just wouldn't think that there would be toxins in your water or in some personal care products, cleaning products, or something that you're using for your garden, for example. So it's really important that you have a very good understanding of what's in your environment, because there are many toxins that can impact your fertility. They can disrupt your hormones, they can predispose to miscarriages, they can predispose to poor quality sperm, poor quality eggs. So it's important that you have a very good idea of what you're coming into contact with on a regular basis. The other issue is nutrient deficiencies, and many people will shrug it off and go, well, actually, I eat organic diet, I eat very healthy, I can't be nutrient deficient, and I'm taking supplements. There's no way I can be, deficient in nutrients. But the reality is that, our diet, even when it's organic, is not sometimes nutrient dense. So it does not have all of the nutrients that we need. Some of it can come from the way the food is grown. So if you're growing the same type of crop on the same piece of land over many years, because this particular plant has a preference for certain nutrients, over time it can deplete that soil of that particular nutrient. This is one example. The other example is also that it comes down to quantities of food that you eat. And sometimes you really need to have lots of serves of fruits and veg every single day to get the nutrients that you're hoping to get from your food. So, a couple of pieces of veg a day and a big salad is just not going to cut it. Okay, for fertility, you need to be aiming for 5 to 6 serves or even more. Again, depending on your body type, depending on your lifestyle, depending on what else you're doing. And these are the factors that are going to determine how much your body actually needs. So on top of that, in this day and age, there are so many popular diets out there. There is paleo, there is keto, there is low carb, no carb. All sorts of different diets, vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, fruitarian, and they all look, really good on surface, and they make lots of promises. And yes, some of these diets are fantastic for, getting rid of inflammation, helping you lose weight, detoxing your body. All of this is great, but long term, a lot of these diets have their own shortcomings, and that may leave you depleted in some of the key nutrients that you need for fertility. So it's important that you, seek help from someone who actually has a good understanding about fertility. Fertility is a very, special category. Yes, you need to be healthy, but you shouldn't be too skinny. You shouldn't be overweight. You shouldn't be denying yourself key nutrients and food groups. So, while these trendy diets may be good for short term to just reset your body, if you've been on them for long periods of time and you can't get pregnant, it's time to really look at them. And then it comes down to your body's ability to digest and assimilate these nutrients. Now, if you're like most people and you have some sort of food intolerances, that means that every time you eat that food, your body is going to react to that food as if it's a pathogen, and it'll create inflammation in order to fight this food. You will have, certain degree of inflammation in your gut, and this may actually prevent you from absorbing nutrients. So you may be eating, excellent organic diet, taking your supplements, but they just can't get absorbed. So again, this could be another issue. So it's really important that you are looking at all of these areas. And I'll tell you, one of the nutrients that so many people are deficient in and is really important for fertility is vitamin D. And it just amazes me how many people are still nutrient deficient in vitamin D. And, I'll test for vitamin D, and oftentimes it's going to be really low, levels which are not enough for production of steroid hormones such as estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, and consequently for production of good quality eggs and sperm. So it's really important that you don't assume that, you're eating the best diet possible for you, and that you can assimilate all of these nutrients, and that you are not nutrient deficient. And then we've got genetic polymorphisms. The new territory. It's the youngest branch of medicine, genetics, and our human genome. Well, thanks to these wonderful advances in science, we can now get ourselves tested, and we can find out which potential genetic polymorphisms or mutations we may be carrying, which are preventing us from absorbing certain key fertility nutrients. And by knowing this information, we can then supplement with the right type of these nutrients, which are going to have access to our cells, even though we have these genetic polymorphisms. And, this is really important. It's a crucial piece of this puzzle, and it has really revolutionized our work and my work, especially in clients who feel like they've tried everything, they've been down every avenue and nothing's working. And then we look at these genetic polymorphisms and we identify them, we address them, and they get pregnant and they have a healthy baby. It's really the missing link. So it's important to embrace all of these different factors when assessing your fertility, and to explore them if you haven't explored them yet. And then of course there's the emotional and spiritual aspect of fertility, which is so overlooked. It's kind of just taken for granted that yes, you're going to be stressed out, yes, you're going to get sad and down. It's just part of dealing with infertility, but there is a better way of going about it. There's so many tools out there, such as EFT, meditations, visualizations, getting in touch with your inner child, getting in touch with what's actually going on inside you, and helping your body heal from inside on that higher level. And of course the spiritual aspect, and the spiritual aspect is so individual. It's different for each person. Each person has different set of beliefs and religions, and what they believe is really important, and it's close to their heart. So you need to look at where does life come from, and where do babies come from that spiritual prism through your heart, in a way that makes sense for you. Okay, so that's very individual, but nevertheless, it's an area that really needs to be explored when dealing with infertility. You need to turn to a higher force to help you, to guide you, to give you some answers as well, so you're not feeling alone in this journey. So in this video, you learned that there are many other potentially unexplored areas when you feel like you've exhausted all your options and you just don't know what to do next on your fertility journey. So we looked at the toxicity levels, we looked at nutrient deficiencies, we looked at the importance of genetic polymorphisms and the importance of addressing the emotional and spiritual aspects of fertility. So if you found this video helpful, please stay tuned for more video tips to come, and I'll see you in the next video.